What's up? It's your boy Reemus and welcome back to the Superior Code, which is us figuring out and being on the journey to becoming the superior versions of ourselves as men and women. Today we're speaking about the fact that to hate on the opposite sex's nature is to hate on nature itself. To be a man and hate on the nature of a woman is exactly the same as when a woman tries to hate on masculine nature, but overall you're literally hating on nature's design. It's pointless. We're living in a time where a lot of people are comfortable dissing the opposite sex. You got words like toxic masculinity, and you got words like feminine nature being evil, or phrases like that being used. It's all a waste of time. You're literally hating on God's design, and you can't change it. I can't change it. The best thing for you to do is to learn and accept the truth. So people learn about the truth about the opposite sex's nature, and if it doesn't benefit them, it often makes them sad or mad. So let's say, for example, a man studies the red pill, which is the truth about gender dynamics generally. He's gonna learn that, like the old cultures and religious historical texts have also corroborated with, is that female nature can be very deceptive, very manipulative, and very destructive. Now, this is not to basically get onto women, it's literally just putting things into reality. This is how they can be. So let's say, for example, men are learning about the fact that if she don't rate you or she don't find you valuable, then she can cheat on you with a spite that can truly mess you up, right? When a man learns stuff like that, he starts to obviously resent it because it doesn't benefit him. And you could even say on a subconscious level, it's him perceiving that action as demeaning or degrading to his surviving and thriving on this planet. So it makes sense that there's almost like a protective mechanism to it, which makes him go, no, I hate that, fuck that, women are this, women are that. But you also have the exact same thing on the flip side. You have women that find out things about men's nature, and because they don't understand it, they don't like it. One of the key points here is that because you don't understand it, that comes from the fact that you can't relate to it. You're thinking, hey, well, I'm like this. How is the opposite sex? But you don't look at them as the opposite sex. You just look at them as another person because you've been lied to and told that men and women are the same, and we are definitely not the same. Not biologically, psychologically, not historically. No. So you're thinking to yourself like, wait, they're coming from this perspective, but if I was in their situation, I wouldn't feel like that, or I wouldn't want to do that. So you dislike it. But again, because we are different, we're here for different purposes. So they're coming from an entirely different context. So again, people learn the truth about nature, and if it doesn't benefit them, they don't like it. But you have to also realize this. Nature wouldn't want us to go against each other and to dislike things about the opposite sex, because nature doesn't benefit from that. We're living in times, again, where it's normal for a man to hate on or to have resentment for women. You see that with the toxic kind of guy community, toxic boy community. And of course, with, that fake women empowerment movement, which is not empowering women at all. They are very comfortable on social media saying mad things about men. Very comfortable. This has led to a population which isn't having as many babies. Not that I care about that stuff, but I'm just telling you the science of it. And I think by the end of this century, I read an article on this, which is by the end of this century, for the first time in like a long time, I can't remember how long it was, but first time in a long time, we're going to have a population which is decreasing. So for example, there will be more deaths than there are births, or something like that, right? And that hasn't happened for a long time. So our actions and our mindset and our general psyche that we're having in this time period is literally going to lead to, or already is leading to, a lack of survival for nature. So it makes sense that nature wouldn't want men and women to go against each other, because when we're in harmony, that's better for the continuation of our genes. And the purpose of genes is to literally just continue on. That is literally it. So nature doesn't care if you dislike things about nature. It really doesn't care about what I think or what you think, or if you think you can redesign God's design. It really doesn't care. All it cares about is, hey, I want this to survive. I want each organism to find the best strategy to make sure they don't go out into existence and they live on for immortality. So that kind of mindset is encoded into the nature of men, and it's encoded into the nature of women. So let's think about toxic. I don't even like saying the word. Like, I get sick when I say it, because it's such a disrespect, not to men, not just men, but it's a disrespect to nature. But if we talk about toxic masculinity, a lot of the time what people will say is toxic traits of a man is actually just things they don't like about masculinity, manhood, or just a man being in a dominant presence. It's not that the action is toxic itself. It's that you just don't like something about what men are able to do, especially if it concerns their superiority in that field over women. And if it isn't that, the other side of the coin, it will be this. It will be the fact that that action that you're calling toxic most likely isn't even masculinity. So a lot of the time people use that word, toxic masculinity. They're actually not even talking about the expression of the masculine energy. And most times when you have a deep conversation, even with a feminist, right? And this is why I don't hate feminists, but I hate feminism. Even when you speak to a woman like that and she's open-minded, what you will often find is she actually does love the masculine energy. So, but again, even the stuff like that she thinks that she hates is confirming, the stuff that she hates that she actually doesn't hate, because it's not the masculine energy, it's the femininity in a man, confirms that she likes the true nature of a man. And when we think about the opposite side, there are men that learn about the nature of a woman. You see social media has exposed a lot about the nature of a woman, because women don't pretend to be, the good girl in this generation. You're getting a lot of women being exposed for how they truly are. So when you see it, you're like, oh, that's annoying. I hate that. Let's talk about hypergamy for a second. A lot of men think about hypergamy and they're like, oh my God, I'm scared. Hypergamy is the woman's need to be with someone, she's always looking for higher value than what she's got. Now, you could hate this, but you hating it isn't going to change that about women. And if you get with a woman understanding hypergamy, it makes your life better, because you know how to be the best existence in that woman's life. You hating it literally doesn't do anything, because there's a reason that nature encoded her with that need to always look for something better, because under primal conditions, that would be the person that would help her survive. So her being with a man who is always the better option literally just helps her existence. So you see, nature has this design because it makes sense. It's not trying to hurt men, just as the nature of a man isn't really designed to hurt a woman. Nature wouldn't make it like that. So if you look deep enough, there's always some survival value in the nature of men and women. But the solution to this, actually, for that is literally just be a man. The solution is, hey, be a man and you're good. A woman is gonna act up or whatever it is. They have a spiteful, deceptive nature to them. This is literally has been spoken about for thousands of years. A woman weren't oppressed before. They were restricted. They were grounded. And now we're living in times where they're not grounded. Guess what? They are acting up like crazy. And a lot of men are being called to their toxicity because they're being hurt by that. So then I get it, it makes sense. But at the same time, the solution is just be a masculine leader. Nature has already designed it so that the masculine leader gets the benefits of her feminine nature. So that's the solution. But anyway, the point is to realize that hating on the opposite sex is to hate on nature itself. If you're a man and you hate on feminine nature, feminine nature is evil, you say stuff like that, I want you to know that you are no different from the fake woman empowerment person who says that masculinity is toxic. You two are in the same boat. You're probably going to gravitate towards each other anyway, because you two are a match made in heaven. There is no hating on one without hating on the other, really, because the two are necessary for each other. But there is no hating on either without hating on nature itself. So with that said, I want to know your thoughts. What do you think? Comment down below, let Reemus know, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.